This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. Have you ever felt like your brain was getting in its own way? I did when I started dealing with severe anxiety in my mid-20s, and I turned to therapy so I could figure out what was holding me back and get my brain to work for me rather than against me.
If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched up with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
So make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. In today's episode, we're talking CM Punk again, and what his status is with WWE. Also, Roman Reigns. We'll find out more about his upcoming schedule for the rest of the year. Will he be at Survivor Series or won't he be at Survivor Series? Got a little bit more info about Survivor Series and War Games to talk about. And then we're going to answer a bunch of your questions. War Games! They really need to bring Regal back for that stuff if they're going to do
Man,
War
I feel
Games.
like we had some War Games out there in the basketball court today.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? My 8-point lead on you ended up being a dead deal, Larson, just like CM Punk heading to WWE.
That segue.
So, amid speculation, we got to do the thing. Sorry, CM Punk tonight. We're going to have some CM Punk news tonight.
Tonight.
All right.
What I'm doing, I'm just kind of like flailing my arms about, not really any sort of
Today's
dancing.
not
I'm
the
tired.
day.
I'm
We're too
very
beat up
tired.
from basketball anyway.
Yeah.
So, amid speculation that Phil Brooks, a.k.a. CM Punk, Cage Fury's own CM Punk, could be at Survivor Series or under MJF's devil mask in AEW, and after reports that Impact Wrestling has been trying to woo CM Punk, Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer himself, of course, the author of those other guys' star ratings, analyzed CM Punk's situation going forward in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, and this is what Meltzer had to say.
Hold on, before you get to the quotes, Steve, in my mind, I picture Meltzer in his messy office.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And, there's that gif of, I think it's Zach Galifianakis, where he's got all the equations and geometry flashing from him, but it's Meltzer instead of Zach Galifianakis.
I haven't actually read this. Are we going to get some mental gymnastics here? Is that what's
Well,
happening?
read it. No, it's just in terms of him like analyzing Phil's situation. Anyways, enough of me interjecting. Proceed, please.
Oh, look, this one got to get down from the bed. There we go. You gonna lay down? All right. Anyway, so see, Meltzer has like a bunch of papers in his office. I have a dog. Meltzer says this. While we've seen wrestlers lasting longer than in the past because they don't work as many matches per year and generally keep themselves in better condition, but time is still running out if he wants to be in wrestling. WWE and AEW are appearing to be dead deals, at least for now, and he could probably make more money, have more control, and have a company built around him more here than in New Japan, which would be the only other major league alternative. From a strategic standpoint, he could also sign a shorter term deal. And if there are changes in WWE and AEW as far as thoughts on him, especially if there are no more incidents like in AEW, perhaps the other companies would give him another chance down the road. So we'll pause there before he talks about Impact Wrestling. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying here in terms of...
Oh, what I think he's saying, he's referring to this other company building around Punk. That's Impact. That's what he's talking about. Sorry.
Okay.
I
so
should have mentioned that thing. The idea is that WWE and AEW are probably dead ends for him.
Mm-hmm.
So if he wants to wrestle for a major company in the United States, Impact is kind of the only choice, and he could go there. Either would be long-term, short-term, make decent money, have a company built around him, and then reevaluate down the line. If I'm interpreting this correct.
Do you appreciate that sounds right. Do you appreciate that seemingly for him, it's either build an entire company around me or nothing. Like he can't just do a Brock Lesnar thing where he comes in, has a couple matches, has some good time, says hi to people, and then makes some money, and then goes
pops
home.
a number for that company, and then goes and hangs out with Larry.
Right.
Maybe write some comic book, shoot a movie.
Yeah.
Like it's either he has to be there every week or not at all.
He has to be there, like in so to speak, in the weeds, like deep in the weeds. He has to be the weeds, basically.
He has to be in the thick of it. So Meltzer isn't the only one who sees Impact as a good option for Phil. Booker T.
Oh yeah.
Stated in the most recent episode of his Hall of Fame podcast that Phil should go to the Impact Zone. These transcripts come to you from Fightful. That's what Booker T had to say. Quote, CM Punk was to go to Impact Wrestling and be a part of that crew down there. I think there's something definitely something that it could work. I really do. I think there's a lot of young guys down there. I think there's a lot of young guys just like in AEW that can learn and maybe look towards CM Punk for some guidance, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to work out or anything like that. But that's the way I see that. CM Punk is somebody that I still feel like he has a lot of value for one of these companies out there. I really do. I'm not saying that TNA is a small fry or anything. I don't think it's about the size of the company or anything like that. I think it's about the legacy that CM Punk wants to leave in this business more than anything. I think departure from WWE wasn't pretty. I don't think departure from AEW was nice or anything like that. If you'll walk away from this thing and look back with some fond memories, you don't get a chance to redo this.
It is kind of a shame that, like, you know, for a guy who's been a part of wrestling, he's been in the business for as long as he's been in, he was gone for as long as he was gone for. And, you know, to go out like this, I mean, it's either incredibly appropriate because it's CM Punk, or, I mean, it's a very rock and roll punk music thing to do, to go out, you know, fuck you. On the other hand, you know, if Impact would appreciate the shit out of him, you know, I mean, they really would. I do think like Impact, I sort of relate this in this is a really sloppy metaphor here, but, you know, WWE and AEW, it's like, I don't know, you're bringing on board a real firebrand CEO, you know? And it's like, if you already have a bunch of other bigwigs there that have their own philosophies on what they want for the company, you're going to conflict with them. If you go into Impact Wrestling as, hey, here's, you know, for all intents and purposes, we're hiring this guy to basically lead the way. And it is different because there isn't that built-in, you know, the alliances between the elite, who have some very loyal people there who they brought into the company and put onto cable TV, and they're not going to react well when some other dude comes in and you know, tries to break them off a piece of their of knowledge that he's got, in a way that maybe they found you know, that they didn't want to listen to. But Impact Wrestling, you know, they're all there one day a month, basically, or one or two tapings a month, taking all the indie dates. You know, they don't have to be there every single week, multiple times a week, enmeshed within the DNA of that company. I mean, it seems like honestly, it seems like a perfect situation for him. And for that level of a company that could use him as a draw, and for him who could use a company to basically be the place where he can prove what he's worth, and he can sort of mold it a little bit, especially on the dawn of this new old TNA. It seems like it'd be perfect. I don't know what would be the main cause for, you know, hesitation there. Money, maybe, or size of platform. Those might both be things that, you know, he might be skeptical about.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends how much he wants to wrestle, essentially.
Mm-hmm, yeah, right.
I mean, Impact's not going to be able to pay him what WWE or AEW would, obviously. But I'm guessing, to the best of their ability, they'd back up the Brinks truck to bring Phil in. You know, right. They'd probably pay, relative to what most other people make an Impact, an outrageous sum to try to bring in CM Punk, especially with the relaunch of TNA. You know, you have that coincide with the arrival of a former TNA superstar in CM Punk. You know, he was there for a bit.
No lies told, yeah.
And it would make a lot of sense for them to try to do that. Again, would Phil be interested? Don't know. Yeah. He seems to value wrestling on a large stage. You know, he was trying to get back to WWE during the backstage days. He was even trying to get back to WWE. When he's still under contract with AEW, apparently.
You know, and I love that little. I'm sorry, you have more to say?
No. And if that's a major thing for him, does he want to professionally wrestle, or does he want to professionally wrestle in the largest stage available to him? You know?
Yeah. I love the fact that he went to that indie show under mask, did a GTS and bolted. There is something I think kind of cool about, hey, let me go to this company that's like a cockroach. You know, they've been around forever. They ain't fucking leaving. And, they got a lot, they have built a really decent fan base over there at Impact, now TNA, or soon to be TNA. And that crowd, if he wants adulation, if he comes and graces TNA with his presence, he'll get the adulation. If he wants really good matches, he'll get really good matches. There's a whole library of amazing wrestlers that he can pick and choose from to have phenomenal matches with. And it's probably better for his body that way. Yeah. Again, if it's size of platform, you just said something kind of interesting. The largest platform possible. Well, if the three bigger ones, WWE, AEW, and New Japan, because of their relationship with AEW, if those platforms aren't available, this might be the biggest platform available.
Impact is the largest platform available. Yeah, to him, yes,
to him, yeah. Yes. And if he thinks, no, I'm too big for that, but it'd be a really sort of cool, buzzy thing to do, to go to TNA and be like, hey, man, let's go ahead and let's kill it here. Let's show AEW what the CM Punk vision is, without all these pesky kids getting in my way.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Tribal Chief, specifically the Tribal Chief setup. Of course, Tribal Chief setup is for Roman Reigns and no one else.
Yeah, specifically.
Especially not
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Right.
And so that seemingly meant in the past that Roman rarely worked TV, much less B-level pay-per-views, but was a near shoo-in for like the major four shows, like Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. However, according to Meltzer in the latest newsletter, it seems like Roman may not be on the Survivor Series card. This is what Meltzer had to say, quote, Reigns is not scheduled for Survivor Series, which is notable because it's considered a Big Four event. He defends the crown jewel, and his next scheduled pay-per-view match won't be until Royal Rumble. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Assuming we're going to get brand versus brand matches at Survivor Series, are they going to avoid having to put Roman and Seth in the ring together by just not having Roman be on the show?
Doesn't it seem like they're building? Yeah, but I kind of feel like they're building to, number one, they've got, I would be kind of surprised at this point given the WWE setup, which, by the way, did you see did you see the merchandise Fightful Select article? Yeah. Cody's starting to outsell generic WWE merchandise.
I know.
Oh, man.
We got to rebrand it Cody Wrestling Entertainment.
What an awesome human being. Anyways, so let's talk about Roman Reigns here. Yeah, they're going to want to avoid that because Roman's got to win that match, and you don't want to do that.
Nope.
I don't think you'd want it. I mean, look, Gunther versus who's the U.S. champion now? Ray. Who's he coming? He's fighting Logan Paul soon. I don't know if you'd want to do Logan Paul versus Gunther. That's a weird match.
Yeah, Gunther would chop the shit out of Logan Paul. Hey, you're not going to have Logan Paul win that one.
Right. Gunther versus Ray could be a really fun match because Ray had that really great match with Brock, and Gunther's a bigger dude.
Yeah.
There's no tag titles. It's Judgment Day versus Judgment Day in that case.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the War Games scenario, and it seems like if there's a War Games match, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. It's probably going to involve Cody, Jay, Sammy, maybe Kevin Owens still against Judgment Day. They lay the groundwork for that. Whether they follow through on there remains to be seen based on what we're going to talk about later. Seems pretty clear we're going to get some sort of Team Pierce versus Team Aldis, Raw versus SmackDown traditional Survivor Series match.
Does it feel like we might get, because it does kind of, to me, it feels like we might get, hey, let's throw a little bit of let's throw a little bit of Survivor Series from years past into this one big pot. So we'll get like the Pierce versus Aldis teams match, traditional elimination. And that'll be a lot of fun. You got, I don't know what LA Knight's going to do. I mean, he could maybe lead. Dude, LA Knight's on both brands. Like, well, I guess he's a SmackDown guy.
He's
but like,
officially a SmackDown superstar.
Yeah, but it's So I don't know what he's gonna do, but I feel like you can do a couple different things. I mean, you could have several, like back in the day, you could have several elimination type matches that sort of buys into the brand versus brand warfare. You can take on a couple different things, and then you have War Games also. But yeah, I feel like, and maybe, hell, I don't know. Maybe you do one, title for title. If we're talking about throwing a little bit of everything Survivor Series into it. I don't know if that's the direction they're going to go. And in fact, we're going to talk about the direction. I'm not even sure they know which direction they're going to go with this pay-per-view coming up in about a month. We'll talk about that here in a second, but let's get back to Roman Reigns not showing up on a Big Four. We got this Crown Royal coming up here next weekend, and that is, of course, better than or equal to a WrestleMania. Or better than,
a WrestleMania experience, yes.
Those are huge, huge shows now. Yeah. And so, like, they sort of exist in their own plane of, what do they do? The Saudi shows twice a year, I think now.
Yeah.
So you got like the 2 Saudi shows, but those are like big shows. So I know I didn't expect Roman to put that title on the line at both of them. But yeah, waiting until January from like, November 4th to January. Is it early January or late January?
Usually end of January, yeah.
End of January.
So 2.5 months, basically.
The same thing that we've been saying all along, man. If they keep the stories compelling, Roman Reigns feels like an even bigger deal when that happens. And when Cody Rhodes beats him come April, he's going to, Cody's going to get all that Roman rub. Ooh, unless Roman beats him.
They want Roman to pass that Hogan record. What?
Let me ask you this. Let's fast forward.
All right.
Kind of a tangent.
Sure.
If Cody doesn't face Roman at Mania.
Yeah.
Roman's going to get the Hogan record, right?
Yes.
It ain't going to be anybody else.
No. No. I mean, you could have Seth drop the title and have Roman Seth main event, given their history, and have Roman finally beat Seth for a title.
Oof, yeah.
I know he's beat him in the past, but,
I know. Don't you hate that? Like, I know they're like significant wins. And then in the comments, when you say that, you have to clarify, well, we mean like big significant wins, because everybody's like, they did. I got on Cage Match. And he did beat him.
So that's a possibility. I mean, there's always. I don't expect The Rock to be involved in Mania 40, but who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they actually give a damn about the Hogan record. You know, like, what would that put him? Fourth, third,
behind
Bruno
Backlund, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So I don't know. It's at that point you're just in third place.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't like. What's the huge deal about the Hogan record? Just because Hogan?
I guess
his name carries so much weight. Unless you're passing Bruno, I don't really see what the point is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Personally speaking.
You just do this shit because we need like a champion who's going to be there. But then I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where business is so good.
Yeah.
Do you mess with it? If it's working.
Look with all the merch Cody is selling. Imagine how much more merch Champ Cody could be selling.
I know. Ugh, yeah, scary business.
Cody Wrestling Entertainment, I'm telling you.
Oh, dude, that's what it's going to end up being. You watch one day. He's going to take the book on WWE. He's going to be he's going to be, after Triple H, going to be Cody. Watch.
It's going to be Cody. Wouldn't surprise me.
Or he'll take the book on the United States of America and become president, Larson. Mull over that one.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
Let's go ahead and pay some bills. What do you say?
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. Steve.
Yes.
I know I've been talking about this all week, but it bears repeating. One of the things that irritates me most about dealing with anxiety is when I'm in a situation where there's something I want to do or should do or need to do, but this brain inside my head, it starts going and my anxiety kicks up. It makes it extremely difficult to get those things done if I get them done at all.
And I know you know this, Larson, but therapy can help you figure out what's holding you back so you work for yourself rather than against yourself.
Yes, I know that. I've been there before. Back in my mid-20s, my anxiety got really, really bad. So bad, in fact, that I realized that was getting in the way of me living a productive, happy life, and I needed to go to therapy. And it took me a couple tries to find someone I felt comfortable talking to, but once I did, I was able to learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety and get me back on track to being a happy, productive. Larson.
That's right, man. And if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched up with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
So make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
You know, it's funny. Like, I was just sitting here thinking, like, what an embarrassment of, like, riches the WWE has, right? They can say no to CM Punk and they can have Roman Reigns not be at a Big Four. And they're like, yeah, man.
And, you know, I think if Roman, in fact, is not a Survivor Series, it lends credence to the idea that War Games will be, because there's a huge attraction match that they can book the show around. Speaking of War Games.
Yeah.
Are we getting a War Games match at Survivor Series or not? I want to know by now. Come on.
War Games.
And if so, who's going to be in it? So WrestleVotes has potentially some backstage details, tweeting the following. Quote, regarding, I can't talk right now, my goodness. Regarding War Games, I'm told creative within WWE has gone back and forth for a while now on the matchup for Survivor Series. Within the last few weeks, the thought was to keep the story only on the Raw side of things, but the sense from a source is that has now changed. Could that have changed now because Kevin Owens got traded to SmackDown?
Mm-hmm.
And so either they're going to find a replacement on Raw for him, so we get Cody, Jay, Sammy, and I don't know, name someone on Raw who could be the fourth member of that team.
Yeah. Okay. It was
Drew
Sammy,
McIntyre,
Jay, Cody.
Well, if they tried to enlist Drew because he doesn't like Judgment Day. He doesn't like Jey Uso either, though.
Some of it comes from, it'll come out of the Crown Royal show because Drew McIntyre, he could win that title. He might feel a certain way about Judgment Day if he doesn't, or Seth Rollins might feel a certain way about Judgment Day if he loses because of them. Mm-hmm. And then he ends up joining that team. Him and Cody together on a team, that's kind of scary. That they got obviously tons of history. Seth and Jay, Seth and Sammy, kind of whatever. But, they could write it. I kind of like the idea. Number one, I think Seth should lose that title. I don't think he's going to. But I love the idea of Seth losing that title. I'd like to see Seth mix it up with, like, the whole Judgment Day. You know, some of the criticism right now for Raw is that every main event and every opening segment, it's all Judgment Day and Cody and Sammy and Jay, right?
It's all the same ingredients, yes.
People seem to love that shit, and I love that shit, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But I kind of feel like you're going to have to mix it up at some point.
Yeah.
And you put Seth Rollins into that mix, and maybe he's still pissed off at the champion Drew McIntyre, and you're able to get the championship, sort of in that. Plus, you got Damian Priest with the briefcase. There's a lot of elements, a lot of combustible elements if you add Seth and Drew to that whole thing. But yeah, I like how Dave Meltzer was talking, earlier this week about how Drew McIntyre's contract isn't up till April, so they could totally put the title on him. And then in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, he was like, they probably won't put the title on him because his contract's coming up. You just said they could, Dave.
Oh, Dave. I mean,
hey,
I guess
we're getting there too, man. We're getting there too.
Oh, I know. I guess the other option would be to do some sort of amalgam of Judgment Day and Bloodline. You could have Finn, Priest, Jimmy, and Solo on one side, and then you could still have Cody, Jay, Sammy, and then Kevin Owens at that point too, if you're going to do a cross-brand War Games type deal. Yeah. So there's options there. They've built to either option that if either of those matches were to happen, it would make sense.
Yeah. So we'll find out. I think I kind of feel like there's going to be a lot of sort of moving and shaking at whatchamacallit, at
Crown
Royal. Yeah. Although it's funny, Meltzer also proffered the idea that LA Knight could beat Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. He says, LA Knight's really popular and people want to see a title change. I'm like, homie, that ain't happening until WrestleMania. Shit is, and look, I love LA Knight. I do. I love him to death. I think he's awesome. Yeah. But he ain't the dude, man. He ain't the guy taking off Roman Reigns.
No. You want to answer some questions, Steve?
Yeah, let's answer some questions. Got a bunch of great questions from the Friendos. Before we do that, though, I want to point this out really quick. Larson, you and I, we're on a quest, and we need your help. That's right. We're asking for your help. We're on a quest for 198,891 subs. It's something that's very important to us, really deep in our soul, because we love what they call palindromes. Those are numbers that are the same forwards and backwards. So 198,891. That's what we're looking for.
Poop is a palindrome.
Poop is a palindrome. Boob is a palindrome as well.
Indeed.
So, in order to achieve the palindrome, we need your help. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Hit the notify bell. If you're in the audio realm listening to this and you're like, oh, hey, wait, I've got YouTube. I prefer listening to them because I don't want to see their old leathery faces. That's fine. Do us a solid. If you like the show, go to YouTube, find us. Steve and Larson are going in Raw, whatever. And then
Steve and Larson's going in Raw, WWE and AEW podcast.
That's the name of the show. And you hit that subscribe button. Hey, look, man, I'm trying to get the SEO going here.
SEO, I take no umbrage with it. I think it's funny to say it.
Some people in our comments think we should not be an AEW podcast anymore, Larson.
I saw that
in our comments. Boy, you guys sure seem to hate AEW. Why do you even bother reviewing it? We used to hate WWE too.
Yeah, we kept reviewing that. We didn't do it the night the shows aired because it's too much.
Yeah, and then we realized, hey, we never have to do it night of the shows except for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Oh,
great.
Man. So anyways, hit that subscribe. Also, it really helps the show if you're on YouTube, if you hit that thumbs up. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, if you leave us a rating, review, or a comment, that would go a long way, and it's free. It's really easy way to help support Going In Raw. If you want to go that extra mile, if you want, Larson, the Friendo Club setup, that's right, available for nobody but Friendos, especially not Seth Rollins, unless he's a Friendo.
Well, if Seth Rollins ponied up some money on the Patreon, he would get the Friendo Club setup.
He'd get the Friendo Club setup, which is great because there's no way he's going to get the Tribal Chief setup because it's not for him. It's just for Roman Reigns.
And nobody else.
He could get the Friendo Club setup, though. And you do that by going to the patreon.com/Steven Larson. $5 and up a month gets you there. You get access to bonus episodes, Friendo predictions challenges. We've got a bonus prediction challenge coming up at Crown Royal. And then Week of Champions 3, where John Hosey's going to be putting his Big Blue Championship on the line. From predictions for AEW's Full Gear and WWE Survivor Series, you also get access to the question threads, which we pull from to answer the questions we're about to answer. You can also get there by clicking join on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you go to our channel. What is our channel called again, Larson?
It is called Steven Larson's Going In Raw. That would be an AEW podcast.
Thank you. And click on join, and that gets you the Friendo Club setup. Seth Rollins, you could have the Friendo Club setup. You can't have the Tribal Chief setup, but you can have the Friendo Club setup. And if he does get the Friendo Club setup, guess what? Everybody else out there, they can have the Seth Rollins setup because his will be the Friendo Club setup.
Exactly. Speaking of setups, this first question is about setups. Pun Hit Wonder here asks, so we have a pretty good idea of what the Tribal Chief setup and who definitely doesn't get it. What about the Going In Raw setup? What is that like, and who definitely doesn't get it?
Oh, man. Dude. Well, okay, so there's the Friendo Club setup. That's for the Friendos. The Going In Raw setup, that's just for Steven Larson. That ain't for anybody else.
It ain't for anybody else, especially not Hilton.
Definitely not for Hilton. It was for the Enforcer, too. It was for the Enforcer.
It was.
But yeah, at this point, it's just for Steven Larson.
Right now, the Going In Raw setup feels like we go and beat the shit out of each other playing basketball for 2 hours. I hurt right now.
I'm surprised my tooth isn't dead.
I know. I was like, oh shit, either the tooth is knocked out or it's going to be loose or it's going to like turn gray because there's a kill the nerve in it or something like that.
I know, that'd be the worst. Honestly, just knock it out before it goes gray.
Yeah, I know. He's got a partial on there. There you go, done.
Yeah. And then you split your finger open.
Yeah, you know I did that.
Yeah, that was rough.
Top of my index finger here, my right hand just got split open.
Gracious. A well-earned victory for you today, Larson.
Oh man, I'm feeling it though. I'm gonna be feeling it tomorrow too.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Adam Bull here asks, who's the best wrestler in the world in ring? Right now. Who is the best in-ring performer? Not worried about promos. Not worried about presentation in terms of professional wrestling in the ring. Who is best right now?
So I would go to. There are four names that come to mind: Speedball, Osprey, Gunther, and like Ilya Dragunov.
You're not going to mention Bryan Danielson?
Oh yeah, he's probably tops. I don't know. I was just trying to go.
Totally.
Yeah. Danielson's up there too. He's probably the best, to be honest with you. He's probably the best. But I'm also thinking about guys that like that also sort of speak to like what I like. I love the Gunther match. I love the Ilya match. Who's your favorite? Who's your personal favorite?
Oh, it's probably Danielson. Danielson's creeping up to be maybe my favorite wrestler ever. Especially
take Danielson out of it because that's kind of unfair.
Yeah,
he is the tops. He is tops, man.
I'll say this. It's probably Gunther because every one of his matches feel like a real fight.
Yeah.
And that's why I appreciate what Danielson's doing these days because he can wrestle a variety of opponents and they all feel like real fights.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over that strap match he had with Ricky Starks. That felt like the end of a blood feud.
It really
was
did.
Their first match.
Yeah.
That might be my favorite match of the year. The way they managed to take their second interaction ever in AEW.
Yeah.
And tell such an awesome story and put on such an incredible match and make it feel like it was the culmination of 6 months of feuding when it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an impressive feat in my mind.
That might be match of the year. You might be right about that. I'm trying to think what else. Was Rhea Charlotte this year?
Yeah, it was a WrestleMania. That was really good too.
That was a good match. I really
Ospreay's had like 5 match of the year contenders. It's 2 with Kenny alone.
I need to watch the Tokyo Dome match. Oh my god, that was great. So good.
Yeah, it was.
I gotta watch that Ospreay Speedball match.
Oh, from Impact, from Bound for Glory.
I heard really good things about that.
Meltzer gave it 5 1/4 stars. Speaking of Ospreay, David Matuszek here says, with Will Ospreay reaching 31 5-star matches after Bound for Glory, do you think his record could ever be topped? Of course. I think the art of professional wrestling continues to evolve, and I think we're going to see, in years to come, people pushing what pro wrestling can be and how stories are told in the ring. So, of course, I think it's possible.
Yeah. Meltzer's in, like, phenomenal shape. But, like, one day he's going to get old and weird. And, like, it might be when he's, like, 105 years old and he's still, and it's his office is literally just, like, paper. And then he's in there clacking away on his typewriter probably. And at that point, he's going to be, just doling out 6-star matches to like,
Suddenly Eric Boogs is a 6-star match machine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I'm waiting for that day when Eric Boogs is dropping like, he has like, I don't know, 36 matches on the year, but somehow he's got 91 5-star matches.
Exactly.
Meltzer's going to be making up shit that happens.
So like, I think in I'm guessing here, the last 10 years, I feel like Meltzer's given out more 5-star match ratings than he did probably in any decade previously.
Oh, he's doling them out big time, yeah.
Between Tanahashi, Okada, Ospreay now, Kenny.
The bigger question is going to be who's the first. What's his top? Is it 7? Is his top 7?
7 for Kenny and Okada, 3.
Who's going to get the first 8-star match?
That's a good question. It's a good question.
Ospreay and Boogs.
There you go. Ty Moore here asks, who do you think deserves Booker of the Year?
So, for the Steven Larson going in Raw, AEW, and WWE podcast. Sorry, WWE and AEW podcast. Got to get the order right.
Mm-hmm.
We pay attention to the following bookers. So, like, we got to take Stardom out of it. We should probably take Gato out of it. We're going to put Gato in it because we kind of follow New Japan.
Yeah. Like I'll try to follow what's going on.
Scott D'Amore, Gato, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Tony Khan. Right? That's who we follow.
Yeah. I don't know how you can't give it to Triple H at this juncture.
Yeah.
Business is booming for WWE.
Yeah.
In large part because the creative is much better than it's been in like a decade.
Yeah, the people I'm gonna get so shit on for saying this, but like Raw has become my favorite show. Like out of all the weekly wrestling shows, Raw is my favorite one because like everybody on there entertains the shit out of me. They're all used right. There's always good stories going on. Yeah, that's my shit. And it's like you took 3 hours. Like he took what used to be an insufferable 3 hours and he turned it into a very, very watchable 3 hours. Like SmackDown always has that sort of top line. It's like the 2 hours kind of goes by too quick at this point. They should really make SmackDown 3 hours, Larson.
No, not at all. No, we're not being.
I'm totally joking about that, man. We don't need more.
No, don't even joke about it. Eastside Reviews here says, what 3 free agents of 2024 would you ideally like to see head or stay to WWE, and what 3 would you like to see head or go to AEW? Happy you mentioned that, Eastside Reviews, because we have an episode coming up soon on Friendo Club Wrestling, the free agent game.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about people who should stay, who should go, prospective free agents in 2024. So we don't want to give too much away here, but who's one wrestler, Steve, that you think should go from WWE to AEW or vice versa? It's one name.
Shinsuke Nakamura goes to AEW.
All right.
Because then we might get him back doing some New Japan stuff. Like, could you imagine if Shinsuke is in AEW and they, like, bring in, just for a laugh, Okada to promote the Danielson stuff, and it's like, oh, wait a second, hold on. We get a moment between Shinsuke and Okada. And nobody cares about it on cable TV because they're, it's like, oh my God, they did 600,000 this week because it's a few, it's a partnership that goes back like however many years. Yeah. But for me, it'd be really cool.
You got to have Ishii there and Yano, so everybody just tries to make Ishii laugh.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I see the clips from the Yano VHS and DVD things that he's done, the compilations, and they spend so much time trying to make Ishii laugh, and it's hilarious.
Oh, I love it.
It's so funny.
That's awesome.
Trying to remember. Ricochet leaves WWE to go to AEW.
Okay, yeah. He should leave, like, his last match should be the day before Will Ospreay shows up.
Yeah.
So we don't get any of that.
They'll never set foot in the ring again.
Yeah. No, I'd love to see them mix it up in WWE at least for a little bit.
Oh, that'd be great. It would be great. DJ Hawk here says, what in your mind could AEW do to fix its crap attendance? The easy story is better storytelling, but do you really think that would sell out arenas?
Yep.
You want to fix their attendance problem? They should book smaller venues.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Okay. No, man, that's like, because the logical endpoint to that is they're just running like, opposite Action Coast Wrestling. You know what I mean? Like they're doing 100 people per show.
But if there's something to be said, if they start doing shows in 4,000 seat venues, and then it kind of be 3,000 or 4,000 seat venues, because that's kind of what they're getting these days, and suddenly, well, it's kind of a hot ticket now. You see reports, oh, this show's sold out. This show's sold out. The perception that they're selling out shows might be important to the momentum of the company.
Man, they'd get killed online for that. At least online. Be, oh, a sellout. Oh, how many? 3,000?
It's better than a venue that's got 9,000 empty seats, man.
Look, dude, here's the bottom line. You want proof? The proof is in the pudding. A couple of years ago when crazy old Vince McMahon was running WWE Creative, they were in the exact same spot AEW's in now. Couldn't give away tickets. BOGO everywhere. Now, good stories, compelling characters, selling out everywhere.
But the question is, you got to set aside creative.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, yeah. Set aside creative. I mean, honestly, at that point, AEW presents Braun Panties.
Oh my goodness.
Mud wrestling.
Oh my goodness.
Go like straight up, do backyard wrestling, explore other genres,
So rather than having shows at arenas, go to somebody's backyard and have an AEW show. Got it.
That's basically the path that you're on anyways. I'm just fast forwarding it.
I'm saying do medium-sized venues rather than the huge basketball. That's what they were doing when they started. They weren't doing these huge basketball and hockey arenas when they started.
They're probably going to have to do that once the new year comes around and they're not booking places.
Bookings have been done and they need to book other shows. Yeah, they're going to have to do smaller venues. AEW at Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento.
Yeah, dude, I'm down.
But how great would that show be?
It would look like garbage.
2,000 other people. That'd be amazing.
It would look so small. Though.
Well, that's up to production to make it look good.
Yeah, they'd have to try their damnedest.
Because you could do a show like at the Hammerstein in New York, which is not a large venue, but because of the energy of the crowd and the way it's a cool looking place too. The energy is what matters to me. You could have a crowd of 8,000 people if they're all sitting on their hands.
I don't disagree
taken
with
away from the show.
Dude, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the energy of a show really makes it. But if they can't make it look the way it looks now, like if you look at even TNA during some of the years they were bringing in 2,000 people, they made those places look pretty big. TV wise, it looked good. So if they can do that, then yeah.
You shoot with a wider lens to make the space look larger.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's all about how you photograph it. Bucket Dipper says, who are some people in WWE and AEW who could benefit from a good manager?
Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed. Kind of feels like Waller acts that way for Austin Theory anyways.
Yeah, kind of does feel that way.
So, because I was going to say Austin Theory, maybe.
They should have Dexter Loomis be DIY's manager.
Oh, that's good. Is he still with the company?
As far as I know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they don't have to do
This hasn't been on TV.
I mean, dude, we've always said, like, that's sort of, I don't know what you do with that guy. Like,
yeah,
he's
that's a tricky character. I mean, it's entertaining, but
yeah,
like there's not much of a ceiling for
there is
someone who could be serial killer.
Yeah, can't do a lot with that guy.
No, who in AEW could benefit from having a manager?
Well, Wardlow tried it, didn't work. Sting has a manager now, Ric Flair.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Adam Copeland.
Have Christian be his manager.
Christian
do the talking for Adam Copeland.
He's so sleepy these days. He's just
he
like,
really is.
What did I do? I should have taken less money to stay with WWE. But I think I don't know if Triple H even wanted him around.
It seemed like if he was going to stick around, it was going to be very much part-time duty.
He basically said, he did everything he could do here. There's not a lot of space for him. He's not a needle.
Oh, Adam, I like you personally. I don't have much for you to do, though.
I have a lot for you to do here. What's the opposite of a needle mover? What's something that,
a burden?
Bobby Fish?
Yeah. A ratings burden. How about that?
Box office poison.
That's it. Box office poison.
Bored is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
All right, Steve, this is a question for you, so get ready to get in character. High Plains Drifter here says, if I was on the Cody train for a while and now falling off, could Child convince me to get back on, Steve?
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. I wish I could get my Cody thing over there. All right, so this is for people who might not know. I've got this plan because if you guys remember, whenever Cody shows up at Raw, he always glad hands the kids, very politician-esque. He's like, oh, look at this little kid there. Steve wants some Cody love, okay? Even if I have to go through deceptive means to get there, I'm going to do it. Next time I go to Raw, I'm going to get that sweet spot on the corner right there, or on the ramp right there where all the wrestlers come down. And then when Cody's music plays, I'm gonna do the thing. Well, number one, I'm gonna wear like a 3XL shirt, so it looks super big on me, and then I'll put my hand like this. Look, I can't do it on this side because it's gonna stretch. There's a brand new shirt. Get this friendoshop.com, and then I'm gonna sort of like put my skin back like this. I'm gonna like pin it back.
Hold on. Oh, pin it back. I'm saying, how can you put your arms out?
I'm gonna pin it back with something,
but also do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna pin it back somehow. And wear like a little helicopter hat.
But with what? How are you gonna give yourself like a temporary facelift?
Yeah, no, it's like, I'll get some like laundry clips, some rods.
Oh, clothespins.
Clothespins, yeah. Some of
how are you
things.
gonna hide those?
I don't need I'll wear a wig, like a kid wig, and then like a helicopter hat. And I'll be like, so my face will be like this.
Go ahead, come on, convince High Plains Drifter to get back on the Cody show.
High Plains, and this is how kids talk.
High Plains Drifter. I'm a child.
Well, sounds like Zorak from Space Ghost.
Cody Rhodes is selling out all the merchandise. How do you not love him? Cody Rhodes is out selling WWE generic merchandise. And John Cena merchandise too. I need to do my homework now and turn it into school class.
I really actually only understood like 25% of what you said there.
I got to do my homework now and turn it in at school class.
School class. No, I got that part.
Okay.
The whole middle section, I couldn't make out very much.
So, the guy's selling tons of merch. He's outselling the actual WWE logo stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. It's like, I don't want to support my favorite superstar. I want to support the company that hires them.
It's like, hey, I'm a fan of the
NFL.
49ers. I'm going to buy a T-shirt with the giant NFL logo on it.
Didn't
Unless you're Rob Lowe wearing that hat. I don't know who else does that.
Yeah.
He was on sideline with NFL hat on.
Oh, that was funny.
That was pretty hilarious. Blake Whitehouse here says, if Miz joined Judgment Day, would Steve grow to love the Miz or hate Judgment Day?
Oh, dude. Unless it was every week opening with Damian Priest, holding him up by his neck, choking him out.
That'd be pretty great.
I would not be into it. I like Miz's role now of like dude who shows up for all of 2 minutes, gets interrupted, and then does nothing. That's what I like about the Miz these days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Edward Munoz here asks, if Edge is the Pearl Jam of wrestling, does that make Beth Phoenix Temple of the Dog?
That was a great album, by the way.
Yeah,
that's probably my second favorite Pearl Jam album. It's not even Pearl. No, I think it might. Well, or third.
Mostly Chris Cornell songs.
Maybe third. Yeah. It's probably like my fourth. Yeah, my fourth favorite Soundgarden album.
Anyways, let's answer the question. I wouldn't say that Beth Phoenix is necessarily Temple of the Dog. I'm trying to think of another band that's Pearl Jam's contemporaries that might be a better analogy.
Okay, so let's Beth makes Edge better.
Absolutely.
I don't know. In that respect, maybe Temple of the Dog kind of works. Maybe Beth is ukulele, because Eddie's solo album versus him and a ukulele was pretty good.
That's true.
I like that stuff. Yeah. She's the Into the Wild soundtrack.
All right. That's fair.
I don't know if there was more people on there besides Eddie Vedder, but
I think he did the whole thing.
Did he do the whole thing? Yeah.
think so.
She's the Into the Wild soundtrack. She's the Last Kiss cover.
Clown wants to know the better super group from Seattle. Was it Temple of the Dog or Mad Season? I don't think it's terribly close. It's Temple of the Dog.
Oh, that's close, dude. Mad Season was fucking tight.
Yeah, I was never really into that album. They did.
Oh, I like that shit, man. Yeah, it's Temple of the Dog, but in my book, it's close. It's close.
It's not terribly close. White Brownie asks, if you both were paid to reenact any scene from Batman 89 that involves both Joker and Batman, which scene is it and who is playing who? It's got to be the scene. It's not Batman. He's Bruce Wayne. It's in Vicky Vale's apartment.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's that one.
Yeah, because they just chew up that dialogue.
Oh, it's great.
That's really good stuff. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Tell me, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
What'd you say? Yeah. There we go. We did it. Did it for free. Free gratis.
Free gratis.
All right. Luis really wants this question answered, so we'll indulge him.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's better, cold sandwiches or hot sandwiches? Obviously, the correct answer is whatever you're in the mood for. Because if you really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're not going to stick that in the air fryer and warm it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I don't see any world in which like a grilled cheese and ham on sourdough isn't better than most cold sandwiches in my book. And that's just sort of scratching the surface.
I think all things being equal, you take what I'm in the mood for out of it. If you give me a cold sandwich option or a hot sandwich option, I'm taking the hot sandwich option, because here's the thing. I don't know what it is. Hot sandwich seems premium.
Yeah, it does.
I can make any old cold sandwich at home.
Yeah.
You stick a hot sandwich or a sandwich in a panini press.
Oh yeah.
Air fryer.
Oh my God.
You grill it up a little bit with a pan with some butter or olive oil.
Yeah.
Suddenly that feels like something special.
Oh, it feels like a restaurant. Yeah.
It does. It feels premium.
No, you know what I did the other day? So I went to Winco. I got like over in their deli section. I got a bunch of sliced chicken because they didn't have any roast beef. Is there a run on roast beef right now?
Is there a roast beef shortage?
Maybe. Arby's in trouble. August 1 warning.
There you go. Yeah.
So I got like a bunch of sliced like deli chicken because I'm like, oh, the chicken's good. I got some hoagie rolls,
Yeah.
and then like I put some butter on the hoagie rolls, and I flatten them on the grill or on the the
You
stove
press it down. Yeah.
stovetop. Heated up the chicken, and made myself a long boy.
Yeah.
But it's it's nice and warm, and I put some curly fries in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was sitting
Premium.
pretty. Took
It
a big
seems
nap afterwards.
premium.
Yeah, it does. It seems premium.
It seems like like you said, like you're going to a restaurant.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I think that's what really separates the hot sandwich from the cold sandwich. I can make it just to get a couple pieces. That's what I had for lunch today. Some leftover turkey.
Yeah.
It was really dry too. It's a bummer. Put some spicy mayo on a couple pieces of wheat bread and ate it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Nothing premium about that.
No.
Give me some freshly sliced turkey breast.
Yeah, right. Juicy.
And you put some pesto or some bacon and avocado on there, and you put that in a panini press. Holy shit!
Pesto is S tier.
It really is.
It really is. Yeah, pesto's bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a SmackDown preview because that's happening tonight.
It is.
And how great is it for you that you get to talk to Triple H about SmackDown? Here we go.
Oh gosh.
Hey, how's it going? This is the game, Triple H. I don't have a lot for you here today. Oh, wait, no, I thought I was talking to Adam Copeland. I don't have any creative for him. By the way, if Adam Copeland is Pearl Jam, that makes Beth Phoenix Jerry Cantrell's solo album. I cut you in. Come on, let's go for a ride. All right, let's go ahead and do this. SmackDown. This is going to be on FS 1.
Yes.
So everybody that's watching this right now, just remember it's not on Fox because it's got Mulb, right? Isn't it the baseball? Is that what the problem
Major
is?
League Baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares about baseball. They
Does the
want
World
to
Series
see
start
the
tonight?
WWE superstars on FS 1.
I want to watch the World Series. I don't get to watch a lot of baseball during the season. I want to watch the World Series.
Hey, well, there's like a million games each team plays. Why don't you have an opportunity?
I'm busy.
to
I got
watch?
a lot of your product. I got to watch Triple H. I don't have time
we
to
got
watch
a lot
baseball.
and more product, more but better
All right.
on the way.
Wait, more shows? 3 hours of SmackDown? Are you confirming that?
3 hours of SmackDown, bare minimum. We're talking to USA Network about a 5-hour special every Monday for the rest of time. 4-hour NXT. Talk about 8
We're
hours.
gonna watch that anyways. You can add all the hours of NXT you want. So
We're
have at
gonna
it.
do everything. We're gonna buy Noah. Anyways, listen. Roman Reigns. He's not gonna be at a Big Four pay-per-view, but he's sure gonna be at SmackDown at FS1. Him and LA Knight are gonna flip over a table. Sign a contract for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship.
Hey, Triple H, can I interrupt you for a second?
Don't interrupt, but yes.
Can you give me an LA Knight? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like this guy. I love meme wrestlers, especially when they get super over. Yeah. What, does this guy have a limited ceiling? Yeah. But that's okay. We're gonna milk him for everything he's worth right now. Get the title match over, and then his contract is up next year. And then he could just go to AEW, the Piss Ant Company.
My
You
goodness.
heard me. Yes. Anyways, they're going to
What's
sign
next?
a contract for Saudi Arabia show. Next, we got the LWO, the Latino World Order, looking to take down the Street Profits on SmackDown on F1. Hopefully it's not going to be Cruz and Van Wild or whatever the other guy's name is.
Van Wilder?
Yeah, Joaquin Wild.
Joaquin Wild?
Maybe we're going to rebrand him as Joaquin Van Wilder.
Oh, that's interesting.
Be like the Ryan Reynolds character.
Yeah.
Shenanigans in a college dorm. Anyways, so yeah, hopefully Street Profits will beat them. And then also, Bianca Belair is back on Fest 1. She came back last week, but now she's back. She's still there. She's back.
Yeah.
She's
It
coming
wasn't
back
just
this
a
week,
one-time
too.
thing.
It wasn't
Yeah.
just last week. It's this week too. She'll
Yeah.
probably be there next week as well. What will she do?
And why? Why is she returned now? That's
Why
the
is
question.
she coming back now? And why is she friends with Charlotte Flair now? After being not friends with her, but then they did team up.
Yeah, that was all kind of confusing.
You know, that was in the Vince era when he would just send me shit and I'd have to do it. But you know what? Sometimes you got to play the long game.
You do.
You got to know which game to play, the short game or the long game. You
Can
play
you
basketball,
sing-
you
can
play
you
some
sing your-
bowling.
Like your theme, but instead of time to play the game, time to play the long game.
It's time to play the long game, and now you play it. Don't let it say it. All right, I gotta go. I got too many things to do.
Yeah,
I got a lot of
sounds a
paperwork
lot like
today on a
Steve.
SmackDown first one. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. It's time to play the long game, and now you say it. How'd
you
that
laughing?
go? That go well? Oh, because I was watching something over here. I was watching old Andy Griffith.
Oh, sure.
Shenanigans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shenanigans. That's interesting. Triple H just used that word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like college shenanigans for Van Wilder? That's coming
Yes,
on
exactly
TBS.
that.
He probably has TBS on because he's trying to keep tabs on his competition. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.